Hi, Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns. The youth of our church are going to have an auction where they are auctioning off different things to raise money for summer activities. I offered an item for the auction of having someone make a bowl like this one on my lathe to have an artistic experience. So I decided to practice a little before I coach someone else to make a bowl. Now, the one they make will be something soft like cedar. This is walnut and actually came from a real kind of ratty piece of wood. It has a lot of rot in it, and if it were lighter wood we would call it spalting, but it is mainly just threads and veins of rot that impart some color to it, but it turned out to be a fairly nasty piece of wood to work with. So I won't give the newbie something like that. But it does turn out to be a very nice little bowl. So let's practice making a basic bowl.
This walnut is a reject from a gun stock company, but I can find a decent area for a small bowl. I'll first saw a square and cut off the very soft sapwood. I've not measured, approximate is close enough. Next, a quick way to find the center is to draw diagonals from corner to corner across the wood. Their intersection is approximately the center. I'll drill a 3/16 inch hole about 1 inch deep in the center for a screw chuck. Next, I'll clip off the corners on the bandsaw. Technically, I could cut closer to a circle. However, I have a large blade on the bandsaw and don't want to take the time to change it. This will be close enough as long as I don't cut too small. Next, I'm mounting the wood blank to a screw chuck. After a couple of pull cuts with a gouge across the face to flatten it, I'll start cutting the perimeter to round. I'm cutting into side grain with the gouge rotated to about the 9 o'clock position. This minimizes the bounce and jarring of an out-of-round blank. Attacking the side directly would cut a lot of air between the corners with every rotation. It would also be cutting directly into end grain about half the time. After a couple of passes, the blank is nearly round. I'll trim the remaining flange from the opposite side. With the blank round, I can start forming the exterior. After measuring and marking for the scroll chuck, I'm cutting a dovetail tenon for a chuck in expansion mode. Expansion mode was my choice. I'm hoping to preserve more depth. Then I'm shaping the exterior. There's a lot of punky sapwood. I'm saturating the sapwood with thin CA glue. After letting the CA glue harden, I can finish shaping the exterior and refine the dovetail. Shear scraping was not enough for this wood. I had to resort to my skew as a scraper. Then sand the exterior. Then it's time to turn the bowl around and remount it, with the jaws expanding into the dovetail mortise. But as I positioned the tool rest, I realized that the tailstock would now be in the way. When I first had this lathe, I had to lift the very heavy tailstock up and down to the lathe. But I made this tailstock extension and mounted it to a cart. It matches directly to the lathe ways. I can pull the heavy tailstock directly onto the wooden extension, lock it, then move the cart away. The reverse easily remounts the tailstock. Next, to rough out the interior, I roughed it with my gouge and scraped the bottom with a heavy bowl scraper. For the inner sides, I switched to a round nose scraper. I needed to treat the inside for punky sapwood with thin CA glue. This time I treated the entire inside. Otherwise, there would be color differences between the treated wood and untreated wood. Back on the lathe, the wood is stiff enough to finish the interior. Then sand the interior up through the grits. With a bowl this size, I prefer to hand sand rather than power sand. With the exterior nearly complete and the interior completed, I need to finish trimming the foot. I've mounted the bowl in my homemade coal jaws for a slow speed trim. For this foot, I don't want a discrete foot lifting the bowl. Rather, I want it to sit directly on the surface. I'll create a shallow hollow so it can sit flat and not decorate the bottom in any way other than my name and date. After more sanding, it's ready for a short swim in the walnut oil for a finish. And my bowl is finished. I will not start a newbie with punky walnut. They'll have a much better experience with some softer cedar. Bowls were a prime reason for buying my first lathe and are always a great turning project. I hope my newbie enjoys their bowl also. Do you still enjoy turning a bowl as much as I do? And discovering the bowl inside the wood. That's it for this week's video. Please like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to both my website and YouTube channel. Always wear your full face shield. Goggles are not enough. Until next time, this is Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns.